my lordy, my lordy, my lordy, my lordy. Episode 17. I just got done watching it. I want to talk about with all of you. Because my Lord Jesus, it's a lot going on beyond these gates. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. I took my thorough notes, so let's get to it, make it do what it do. Welcome in, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Glad to have all you here. So we kick it off with Kat, Vernon, Anita, and Nicole at the country club. Chelsea and Dani will be there a little bit later. Naomi has clients, so she won't be able to come in. Also, nobody's heard from Lauren. So Anita, talks about the proofs from the gala or the gala, and basically looks over, talks about the proofs and everything. Eva talks to someone at Ophrey Jones, says, I'll contact her and take care of everything. Then Dani and Chelsea with Dani and Chelsea at Dani's place. And there's a showstopper dress from the Smithsonian that Chelsea is going to wear. And not to mention, Dani said, I will move heaven and earth for my daughter and Ebony magazine. By the way, can I just say, I love that they incorporate reality into the show, especially with our own platforms. I absolutely love that. And Ebony magazine, you need to be you need to be giving press to this show in any shape, form, or fashion, okay? So Ebony magazine is going to cover the event for their next issue, and great news there. So then, like I said, as you know, everybody's looking at the proofs. Kat wants to know why Eva was wearing her dress. Woo, Lord Jesus. Kat, I'm gonna talk about you a little bit later, sweetie, because my Lord Jesus. Child, you got a little bit of Dani in you. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So then we're with Jacob and Malone, and there's two rules that Malone has. One, make it home alive, and two, don't ask for trouble. Malone is ready to get to his retirement date to get to Sheila. And Jacob thinks that Sheila is his wife. Sheila is his boat. Malone shows his wife, and she's a city girl. She doesn't like boating, fishing, water, nope. And Malone says that, Naomi's probably a wild child. You're a pain in the neck, Boy Scout that, you want to do the right thing all the time, this, that, and the third. Oh, my Lord. So when it comes to that, it's just like, sometimes how somebody is really is bigger than your judgment of them, Malone. So obviously there's something that happened to you. We'll get to that a little bit later. But bro, you allow life to define you and not you defining your life. But that's not Jacob's problem, nor is it his fault, right? So then we got Stefana, Carrie, and Becky, and it's an informal meeting. And basically what the issue is that they have an issue with Naomi's father. So then we're with Bill, Tomas, and Mike. I think that's his name. Yes, Mike. So basically, Mike is like, man, she is hot. This, that, third. Mike wants to know about Tomas's date. And, Bill, the bastard of waste, has a moment of contrition of, yes, I divorced, her aunt, and, the Dupree women, don't really claim me anymore. But Kat's a good girl, and I gave you my blessing. Don't make me regret it. So the bastard of waste had a 0.01 second of intelligence. That's all you get from me. So then after that, we're back with, Kat and Nicole and Vern and Anita. And Kat asked, did Granddad have to get pre-approval from, the grandparents? And, Anita says yes in so many words. And Anita's like, but maybe you're right. Let's let the young people have their space. Nicole saves Kat and basically says that Vernon was joking and he's not going to do anything embarrassing. Vernon said, was I? And so their song plays, Anita and Vernon's song plays, And so how they met, Anita and Vernon, was a march in Washington, D.C. Danny Green, who was the person in charge of the record label, sent the group there. And for them, it was publicity, but for them, it was about the movement being on the right side of things. Um, Vernon said that Anita was beautiful, funny, and had sparkle in her eyes, and it looked like she knew about um, mystery things. And Anita was a part of the Archuleta, and they were at the Regal Theater, and so he snuck an invite, right? So I thought that was really sweet, and like I said, I love the fact that with this soap opera, they're allowing the stories to breathe because we don't typically get to dig into memories of the past and see the humanization of characters. Now, maybe because I didn't watch soap operas back then, because that was my mom and my grandmas, my aunties, and everybody else. And maybe there was some low key, men watching soap operas, but it just feels like this soap opera is for such a time as this. So I appreciate they are allowing each generation to breathe with their storytelling um, of what matters to them. Um, it's really a beautiful thing. So like I said, Bill said Kat is a good girl. Haley's gonna keep her paralegal job, and Mike says that well, at least we know what he's doing between teleconference meetings and stuff like that. Tomas, I can already tell he's uncomfortable, and Haley says that we could have bed and breakfast after work and all all that, and then Mike says she is high, and Bill's like, "Cool it, Mike," and it seemed like Bill has said that before. You don't know the context, right? But I said Mike is a horn dog. Um, and so Naomi says, unfavorable conditions at my father's firm are less about him than Mike Davis. So Mike Davis has grabby hands and dirty jokes. Um, the comments start innocuously. Then for one of them, it was about her clothes, comments about her wardrobe, her clothes, and her body. Um, you know, Mike said, line up to one of the ladies, judged what one of the women did after work, and he will always find a way to brush up against her, one of the ladies. And then the lady that was sitting next to Naomi said that she was up for a promotion from receptionist to paralegal. And, she said that she had a boyfriend when she did. Mike gave the worst performance review of her career. The hours were cut, and then the promotion went to Haley. So these were women that used to work at Bill's firm. So the ladies who used to work there were, make sure I get their names right because I want to get their names right. Um, Basically, Stefana, Carrie, and Becky. So I think Stefana was by Naomi. Carrie was the blonde one. Then Becky was next to Carrie. I think that was the order of the names. So this is sounding like it's a Me Too lawsuit. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that they brought this into the show. Um, Media is usually a mirror to showcase the reflection of who we are as a society. And I love the fact that um, while this is a black lit cast, they are not just living in their blackness; they are showcasing the humanity of the range of things that happen to all of us. Allowing, like I said, the storytelling to breathe for the real world to come into the world, but for them to dictate how they move in the real world, not the real world dictate how they move. So then we're back. So before that, how did you all, bond? And Naomi says when y'all went to the ladies' restroom, and they said that's when it got worse. Um, then we're back with Malone and Jacob. Malone talked about having a partner, and there was a robbery. The partner didn't wait for the go ahead from the tactical team, so the bad guy started powering, and Malone dragged his partner to safety bed, chewed out by the police chief for saving his partner's life and for putting him and for putting them and the operation in jeopardy. And Malone basically said that means I will give you up if it means I can save my own. And it's just like, bro, all you had to say was I had a horrible experience with a partner and I'm just trying to get to retirement because I don't want to relive no trauma. That's all you had to say. You did not have to do all that, bro. You just did not have to do that. Just keeping it up with you because you really do seem like you have went through some stuff, like for real, for real. So, with all that being said, um, we see Joey Armstrong outside of a place talking to somebody, exchanging some money we don't know for what. Chelsea said, now we're back with Chelsea and Dani, and Chelsea said, if I knew that this was this lower dress would make you happy. And then, Dani gets excited because she's like, you can get futuristic with the makeup and accessories and then come out retro with what's next. And, as, Chelsea, what does she think? Little does Dani know Chelsea doesn't want to be modeling, but Chelsea is trying to be the good daughter. And I commend her for putting her mom's needs above her own. When you are still your mother's and your father's child, but you want to be your own individual, right? So I think that's something that all children relate to. So, Chelsea wants to carpool to the club, but Dani has one more thing to do. We don't know what the one more thing is, obviously, because it's commercial. So then we're back with Joey Armstrong, his stolen auto parts, enterprise. Maybe it's not working. This, that, third. Why is he getting money himself when he could get one of the corner boys to get it? Jacob almost gets out the car. Malone says, watch and learn. Vernon's talking about Anita being on that stage, and Haley is at the club, right? So Haley comes in for the first time after everything has happened, and she sees the Duprees, right? But they don't see her. My Lord Jesus. And so Nicole says that, Vernon is the goat of telling stories. Then there is Tomas and Kat. They have a bit of a date. A daytime date, rather. I say a daytime date. Vernon, Anita, and Nicole, they're all talking. Then we're back with the ladies at Orphrey Jones. HR investigated everything, but within a month, they all got downgraded for subpar performance. And one of the ladies says, we don't know what Bill know. We don't know what Bill know and doesn't know. And they want Naomi to sue her dad's firm. Now, this gets a little knees weak, arms heavy like spaghetti because, first of all, if these ladies felt like they were wronged, then they should go to some attorney that has it. But also, too, you're putting Naomi in a tough, difficult position because, there is no love lost. And also, too, we don't know Bill's history with these coworkers, right? So, would it have been helpful to see a flashback of all this happening? I'm sure it would be helpful, but I'm assuming that this goes to trial. We will see flashbacks of how Mike has been inappropriate, or maybe the ladies, have some audio and video evidence that will convict Mike. Let's see here. I want to make sure. Yeah, that will convict Mike Davis. So there's definitely more to come for sure. Haley is trying to get someone's attention, but everyone's rejecting Haley. I mean, everybody. Kat and Chelsea talk, about, Chelsea not telling, Dan that she wants to quit modeling. So then we're back with the ladies at Orphrey Jones. They watched the interview after what happened with Bill and Haley. And that took guts. And then Naomi says that you guys did not want me for being an attorney. You wanted me because I'm Bill Hamilton's daughter. And then we're back with Jacob and Malone. Jacob says we got to wait for Joey to do something that sends him away for a long time. Then we nab him. And Malone said that's one way. And Jacob's like, is there another way? Malone says don't make waves. Then we're back with Vernon, Anita, Nicole, and Vernon and Anita, Nicole, and basically Cat, of course, not Cat, but Chelsea. So, Vern said he heard the voice of an angel. He had a seat. There was a seat near the stage, but it was standing room only. Haley is still getting ignored. Dani and Haley talk, and Haley is frustrated, but for once, Dani didn't do anything. Okay. Dani goes to the table. Vern knew in Chicago that he was smitten with her, if not by DC. If not first DC, he knew in Chicago. So then there's going to be a first generation Grant fashion show, and Chelsea is nervous about that, but it's going to raise a lot of money for some scholarships for young people to be fashion designers, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So then Anita is happy that Dani is. Before that, Nicole tells Chelsea that Vernon, her granddad, Chelsea's granddad, named Dani Napoleon. Not for her shortness, but because of her presence, right? Of being a general. And that, she could have, took it over France, this, that, and third, and Vernon lied, no. And Anita gave a wonderful compliment of what that reminded her is you can sell, sand in the desert. And so, Eva comes up with, the hospital moved up the deadline to sign the insurance form, and they need you to e-sign it. So Eva brought the forms over, to help out and everything. Anita says that Nicole has said nothing but good things about Eva, and Vernon invites Eva to join them for breakfast. Cat cuts eyes at Eva. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Like, Cat, listen. I get it. You have your spotty woman sense about this. But, in the words of Toni Braxton, you're coming off as a mean girl. And I say that because it's just like, okay, you don't know what we know, obviously, okay, that baby Eva is your long lost sister, okay, because your dad, Ted, had an affair with Sherry Carter, who really is Leslie, but you're not supposed to know all that. But also, too, it's like, she's the assistant. So at some point in time, you may not like Eva, but you got to respect your mom's decision. Now, I did advocate for you of saying that, your mom is not listening to you. Okay. But Eva is also trying not to rock the boat and tip the boat over because she actually doesn't like the fact that Laura got into an accident, even, pressured Leslie, her mom, of did you go and do this? So Eva does have a heart, and guess what? She also saved your mom's gala because Sherry was about to go up there and blow it up. So could you please, for the love of God, don't have Dani tendencies? Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's roll on. Kat is leaving the date with Tomas to go blow up Eva's spot, which was just foul, fragrant, and disrespectful to me. Can you just not be on your date? Like, seriously, like, Eva's not doing anything wrong right now. Okay? Good Lord Jesus. So Tomas pays for the meal. Tomas wants to see Kat again. And Kat says, well, I tell a date what I told you last night. It rarely leads to a second date. Tomas wants to give Kat a kiss on the cheek. Kat says, have you heard about the Spanish Inquisition? And Tomas says, until we meet again or see you soon, hasta la vista. Kat is upset about Eva being in her seat. And Vernon says, we have another chair. And, Kat says Eva does have, time to be at the club all day when she's so busy with duties. My Lord Jesus, just like, my Lord. Oh, just Eva, that hinge or that tinge or that string of being petty like your aunt is there. Okay, you got Dani DNA running through your system. Okay, so then we're back with Naomi and the ladies from her dad's firm. Naomi has a list of attorneys. They talk to those attorneys as well, and believe me, they are afraid of Bill. and they want Naomi because of it, despite your name. This can be a chance for you to make a real name for yourself. And Nicole talks about, can we talk about how you chased Eva out of here? And Kat says you pay her work not for her to be comfortable at the club. That was Vernon's decision. And for that alone, you should have respected your granddad and kept peace in the valley. Okay? Because like I said, just Eva hasn't really done anything to you. She hasn't done anything to your mom or to Ted. So like, move based on how they move, okay? Because you looking like the clown, the delusional one, and the one that's in a corner by herself in her own little chair trying to be whoever she wants to be. But you're not Brandy from Cinderella, okay? You're coming off as one of the evil stepsisters from the Brandy Cinderella movie, okay? Coming off as that. So let's roll on. With all that being said, Vernon gave Tomas the eye. And Vernon's like, well, you know what? Men need to be afraid a little bit. I do agree. Like, there's a point in time where courting is a privilege, and you have to prove yourself and earn that privilege of getting to know a woman. So I agree. A little fear never hurts anybody. Purposeful fear never hurts anybody. So, Vernon also says before, Nicole and Dani leave, it was a joy to spend time with you all today, crisis free. Eva meets with Tomas. Kat is upset with Eva talking to Tomas. Tomas likes Eva, likes that Eva's bold. And Eva, she has a bit of a flirty side. And I have to say, Kat's refined side was, Eva's, side of fire. Both are attractive, right? For different reasons. Kat and Eva talk, and Eva says you might want to check, into something. You might need to check. You might need to check that out with somebody about why you feel like I'm encroaching on your territory. Because Kat says, you keep inserting yourself into spaces when people are too polite to tell you no. It's just like, child, Vernon invited her to breakfast. Nicole invited her to the gala. Like, can you not see that there are other circumstances that are permitting Eva to do these things? It's not Eva. I can listen. I'm fine. I'm rooting for Eva because she's being poisoned by her bitch of a mother. Yes, and I said bitch. So if you're afraid, if you're offended, listen. Some of y'all are supporting toxicity, chaos, and strife. People that are, making a check that their ass can't cash. And y'all are 10 toes down for anything and everything. And just really destructive energy that me saying this shouldn't. That should be love, grace, and there should be love, grace, and space for me. This is a fictional show. Leslie is a bitch for poisoning her daughter, Eva, with her pain. Okay? And if you believe that your damn self, that's cool for a parent to do, that says everything I need to know about you. And guess what? When your kid grows up, or if your kid has grown up and you don't have access to them, that's probably your own fucking fault. Okay? Moving on. Like, good damn. Sometimes things just gotta be said. Okay? So after all of that is said and done, Bill and Haley talk. No one came to Haley's table, and Haley told Bill that this was going to happen. Then Jacob and Naomi talk. We're at Ofrey Jones now. Jacob, heard about the lawsuit, and Naomi's like, how did you hear about that? And Kat and, Jacob says, cops know lawyers. And so Naomi wants it so bad, but people may think that this is revenge. If your dad did not know about this and you're standing up for these women, I'm sure he will understand, right? But if he did know, then that's where it could be implied, right? But you have to let this play out, Naomi. This is not your fault that these women went through this and they came to you for help. You know what I mean? These are just circumstances that you dealt with. So, with that being said, Let's roll on here. Dani is back at her home, and Dani gets some alcohol. We later find out that it's vodka. Because I didn't know what it was. It just looked like a alcohol bottle. But here's the thing, though. They usually use like water if it's like a clear, substance, because you can't drink as an actor on television. You can't actually drink, right? So sometimes liquor will be apple, whiskey will be apple juice. So for those of you who don't know, Dean Martin, when he had the Dean Martin show, he would actually have apple juice in his glass. So it became like a running gimmick, gag, or joke on the show, the Dean Martin show. So then Vernon and Anita talk, and Vernon says, even though they get on your nerves, you cannot wait until the next time to spend time with them. And, Vernon gives Tomas his approval. He didn't see any iniquities inside Tomas. And Vernon says, you know what? Let's go home and remind ourselves how blessed we are. And can I just say, I know that Clifton Davis and Tamira Tooney are not married, but I can see them married in real life. I really can. Like they remind me of Fran Fine and Mr. Sheffield, Charles Shaughnessy and Fran Drescher. They remind me of that type of dynamic, but it's just a deeper connection, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, Naomi says that they did their research. We're back with Naomi and Jacob at Ofrey Jones, that they did their research. And Jacob said this might add fuel to your fire. Do you want peace, or do you want to do what you're trained to do? And so, Naomi's a little bit overwhelmed. So then they talk about Marcel. Marcel, shut Jacob down. And all he could talk about is retiring on his boat. And Naomi sees Jacob's face when something's off. And Jacob said, for a guy who achieved legendary status, Jacob thought it might be something different. So then we're back with Eva at the club. Eva comes back to the club to pick up Nicole's glasses, and Kaz wondering what Eva's doing there. It's like, this is where I'm losing it for Kat. Like, I still support you because you're right. There is something afoot that you don't know about, but it's the way you are going about this. Okay. You're coming off like Portia Williams. And I say that because Portia lost her rabbit ass mind over being upset about Dennis being a grown ass man in his singleness, doing what he wants to do, making a business decision. And Kat and Eva is also trying to handle business. So you're being the Portia Williams of Fairmont Crest. And it's not a good look, because Portia utilized her daughter to get over with her behavior, just like Kenya Revenge P. Moore also talked about that she's trying to fight for Brooklyn when it's Kenya Moore that did Revenge P. You don't use your children as pawns because you're a fucking disgusting piece of shit that can't own up to your own fucking behavior, Cat. Damn. Moving on. So Eva comes back to the club, picks up Nicole glasses. Kat is wondering what Eva's doing there. Eva asks, doesn't Kat have a job? And, Kat says it's not your business. And Eva saw the picture, and Kat saw the pictures of, Eva wearing her dress, and Eva tries to tell her that wasn't her idea. Nicole invited her. It's just like, Kat, I'm going to need you to be still in your thinking before, in the words of DJ Khaled, congratulations in playing, and you get congratulations in playing yourself, right? So with all that being said, Eva didn't even want to go. And Kat says, save it for somebody who doesn't know what you are. And I had to rewind that a couple times. What you are. Kat, seriously, I get you have feelings about Eva, but like what you are, like she's a human being, okay? And honestly, you're going to piss Eva off to the point where she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care about Nicole. I don't care about Kat. I want Kat to get hurt mentally and otherwise. So you need to pump your fucking brakes if you know what's good for your mental health. Okay? Because Lord Jesus, you're putting yourself in circumstances to get terminated and then cry like a bitch because of the own because you created the circumstances for your own demise. Okay, just keep it in a buck with you. So, Kat says that at least Cinderella knew what to wear, in terms of better footwear. And Eva says, "I'll wear your red Louis Vuittons for the next time." And Kat says, that just because you got something doesn't make it yours. It makes you a thief. And it's just like, your mom allowed her to get a dress of yours. Why are you giving Eva this energy when it was your mom that gave permission? Check. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. And Eva doesn't want anything of Kat's, and Kat says, you want everything in my life and be in my position, so many words, and all if it's out, you're leaking fluid to my. So it's just like, you know what? At this point, this is on you, Kat. Because for all that Eva is, she's never dragged you, but you are dragging her. And eventually what's going to happen is Eva is going to handle your ass and you won't have an ass. Like I said, you're going to terminate yourself and then bitch, moan, and complain about when it was your own fault for creating these circumstances for you to get fucked up the ass with no lube and suffer. Okay, Kat? So stop your bullshit. Okay? I just can't. You cannot talk. You cannot ask for construction when you cause destruction. And that's what you're doing, Kat. That's exactly what your ass is doing. So all that being said, Bill talks about, bringing the city to its knees and that Bill's going to make it right. And Haley's like, would you really do that for me? And, what do you want, Haley? And, Haley wants, peace in Fairmont. And she wants friends on every corner. And she's like, well, everybody in, Fairmont will not, turn Capri's. And then, Bill says, well, you did. And Haley was like, well, Bill asked, how did you feel about when we were falling in love? And Haley says she was starry-eyed, not thinking about reality. And then Haley starts to say, maybe it was a bad idea. And Bill's like, what do you mean? This marriage, house, place, maybe we weren't meant to be together. Maybe we should call this thing off. Because she was like, if everybody's isolating, if everybody's isolating us, then there's no point of us being together. And then Dani, like I said, she's drinking vodka, probably water, and then she is on the floor. Child, that is your Beyond the Gates episode 17 after show. Honestly, I just can't. I can't with Kat, because it's just like, you're going to write a check that your ass can't cash. And I'm sure that this is not the first time that you've been a mean girl before. So you probably did this to somebody else, and then somebody probably has some evidence against you that's going to come out on social media, and then you are going to have to suffer your own hell in the fiery furnace. So you're going to have to go through some stuff to realize some stuff, but that's neither here nor there with you. With Dani, I feel that she is teeter-tottering between heaven and hell in terms of her having peace or being in pieces, and that's a very dangerous place to be. And and I guess for Dani, being Chelsea's momager is a place to fall for her, but she doesn't know how to have her own life for her, right? We know Pamela is her best friend. We know Vanessa is the realtor, but has also become a friend. We don't know Dani's life outside of Bill and Haley because she is consumed by Bill and Haley. Vernon and Anita, y'all are the king and queen, the grand dame, and the grand dame, DOM. Okay, of Fairmont Crescent. I love y'all marriage. It reminds me of the people in Arkansas, very Southern. Right is right, wrong is wrong, but we're always coming through for our family. Like I said, I think that coming up here, we're going to see, Derek and his journey back to health is going to be interesting, because You have, Derek, who lied about the circumstances of how he went through what he went through, in that fire. And, they've been dating for 2 years. So where's that going to go? Then you have Andre, who is trying to figure out, who he is. And, he's got, Dani as a, playmate, to use a Playboy term. And then you have, him potentially being interested in Eva, but don't really know Eva. And then you got him, connected to Ashley. So he's going through his stuff. Then you got Ted and this affair that he's trying to, suppress of what happened. But little does he know, I don't think Leslie's going to stop for shit. So, ugh. And then, of course, we don't know where Nora, she has been shopping, so we can't wait to see Nora. Ashley's mom, we don't know much about her, but hopefully we'll dig into more of her. And then I'm sure we'll see the fashion show next episode. And this lawsuit with Naomi. Ooh, this is going to be probably a very pivotal storyline. So we'll probably see a trial within the show. And that's going to be its own entity. And honestly, tell you the truth, I think the trial could really be on in prime time. You know what I mean? Of a weekly episode of the trial in prime time, Beyond the Gates in prime time. That would be really, really cool. Like I said, hopefully we get some digital content, like going to FairmontCrest.com and, being able, to, insert our comments onto like the art in the Fairmont Crest article and the Fairmont Crest articles and stuff like that. Our comments getting approved to be read, in the episode. And maybe, Bill and Haley is listening to my review, or Tea Talk with Your Girls review, or anybody's review. And they're like, did you hear about Tea Talk with Your Girl? Did you hear about Braylon Lee? I can't stand these motherfuckers. Where are they at? And we get to be characters in the show. Like, there's so many different ways that this can go. Of course, digital content. Like I said, this soap opera has come at the right place, has come in the right space, in the right place, and in the right time for where we are. Y'all, hope y'all enjoyed this after show. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.